back to the CatchMark SportsNet Hot Seat. I'm Tate Stine, and we have a very special guest, Mr. Leroy Hackley Jr. Thank you for joining me.
You bet. Not sure how special I am, but I appreciate you having me.
Don't sell yourself short. So if you don't know what the Hot Seat is, this is a segment where we just highlight a student athlete, a coach, athletic director, anything, and we get to know them a little bit more. So we're going to get to know Mr. Hackley. So first question for you I have is, what do you love about being an AD?
I love sports. I love being around sports. I enjoy being around kids. I've always, I grew up with 13 kids in my family. I was the second oldest, the oldest boy, so I was kind of the self-proclaimed athletic director of my family. We were all athletes. So I just carried that onto my life. I was able to, I've got my undergrad degree is in recreation administration, master's in recreation education, and I've been fortunate enough to stay the last 43 years in athletics and recreation. So I get to play all the time and get paid for it. So here's where I am.
I like it. I know you got a few years under your belt being an AD, just a few. Do you have any specific memory or one memory that really sticks out to you?
Probably the best one for me that sticks out is when I was at Jenison High School, my volleyball team, we won back-to-back state championships, and that's really special when your whole community gets involved in that, and just to follow the girls all through the season, and then the culmination is the state championship. I was actually on the high school, the MHSA rep council at the time, so. I was able to present my own team the state championship trophy, so that was fun. And the other parts for me is when my kids were actually playing sports. That was always a special time. I got to see them. I always got to see them play and never had to pay, so that was even better.
We know you have a little bit of a history as an official too, officiating a few sports, being a ref. What do you think are a couple of the best teams that you've ever officiated?
Oh boy, see, now you're going to find out how old I am. When I've been around, I've reffed some of the guys from the Fab Five.
Oh, really?
I had Chris Webber when he was in high school, so some of those guys been through a lot of really good players over the years. At the high school level and the college level, I've been fortunate enough. I ended up my last 25 years working women's college basketball. Worked at the Division I level, but before that, we were able to work both men and women. After a while, they just wanted us to take a pick of which one we wanted to do. So I ended up going with the women just because it was a lot less hassle. And I grew up with 6 sisters who were all athletes, so it was a natural progression for me. But I've really been fortunate enough to really go through or officiate a lot of good basketball players, and a lot of those kids, I still call them kids, that played in the pros, and been around a lot of good coaches, so it's been a fun ride for me.
When you're not here at work, being an AD, being official, what do you really like to do in your free time?
It's funny that you asked, because I just posted last week, or it's been 2 weeks ago, at the beginning of the spring break. I watched all the basketball games that day. There were a couple XFL football games on, and I just posted on there that all I do is sit around and watch sports. I've got to be sick. Because that's what I do. Everything I do is I'm always looking for a game to watch. If I'm not watching a game, I enjoy, when the weather's good, I enjoy golfing. I played a lot of different sports. So everything I do, everything my family does, it's all centered around athletics. So it's a sickness.
Sickness. All right, and then I was just talking to you about this a little bit earlier. I heard a little bit of the Bee Gees going on in there. We've talked about this.
Yes.
What type of music do you like?
I'm a child of the disco era. When I was in college, way back when I was in college, I was in the disco era. So that's still what I listen to.
Were you rocking the afro?
Oh yeah, it wasn't a big one, but it was about here. But yeah, you get in my car. Everything's 70s on 7. If you were in my office, so you heard what was going on there. Yeah. So anytime I turn on the radio, any kind of music, it's going to be in the 70s.
No, I can appreciate that. Thanks for watching the CatchMark SportsNet Hot Seat. This is Mr. Leroy Hackley Jr. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks again for having me.
Tune in next time for the CatchMark SportsNet Hot Seat.